Okay, getting ready to go. Oh, hey girls, good morning. Oh, hey, can you tell your mother something for me? I got some stuff for you guys from Japan. And can I give it to you tonight? I got some stuff for your mom and dad and you guys, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so maybe after, when I get home, I'm going to come knock on the door and give it to you, all right?
Okay.
Okay, thanks girls. Can you tell your mom? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Oh, it doesn't have to be now, whenever. Thank you. Okay. So here, let's pick the trash in. And do a check of the house. Make sure everything's okay, because I tend to leave things on. Okay, everything's nothing in here to see. Nothing to leave on in there. I leave the iron on sometimes. It's not plugged in. Just make sure the back door's locked. Okay. Good. Okay. Make sure the gas is off. I do leave the stove on sometimes. Everything's plugged. Bam, 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 bam. This is the stuff for the kids. I got some bags of candy for the girls from Japan. And I got some chocolates for the mom, the same chocolates that my wife likes. And then I got for Dad, I got some Japanese beer. He likes beer. You know, to repay them for their kindness and being my wonderful neighbors. Put the trash can there. Look at these old adobe walls. And gotta sew that patch on later. And lock up. Okay. How do I leave the light on? It goes off automatically. And we'll fire up the old ugly stick. Believe it or not, I did start this video for a reason. Oh, there she is, Josefina. Hola, good morning. How are you today? Good? All right, thank you. There's her 3 girls down there. Now I would tell her what's up, with I want to bring them those gifts, but I don't speak Spanish and she doesn't speak English. Neither of us speaks Japanese. There she is. With all the kids going to school. All the mother. Oh, there's Foxy, the Chihuahua. Foxy, Foxy, Foxy. He's a little timid. Well, you know, he's a little dog in a big dog neighborhood. Oh, I left that open. Foxy. And there's Jesus guarding over the house while I'm gone. Oh, Foxy, I scared Foxy. There you go. Yeah, sorry, Foxy. Okay, so here we go. Why did I start? Can you hear the trains? You can probably see it cross in just a second, right down the alley. Watch. Here it's gonna cross. Here it comes. Here it comes. Work it, work it, work it. You can do it. Burlington Northern train. All night long, this community of South Colton is surrounded by trains. And this is a central depot area, you know, clearinghouse for east, west, northwest, whatever. East, west, north, south. This lock could use one more link. There we go. Okay, let's go. Oh, the train stopped. So, last night, here we go. My house. I'm almost out of gas. Bye, Foxy. Old abandoned, or not, you know, it is abandoned. What is that? It's a car repair shop. They got to be careful coming through here. Kids can come walking right in front of you as you walk here, so go very slowly. Okay. So, adventuring alone. More kids all going to school. Oh, there's my neighbors. Here passing the sombrero. My market right there, just opening up. You know, the Frank's market run by Asians. No Frank. And as you leave, it says "Adios amigos" on the sign there. Everything's in Spanish. It is a Spanish community. There's the Dells. So anyway, why did I start this video? Turn the heated grips on here. Yeah, let's rock the heated grips. 7 o'clock, just enough time to make it to work. Big day at work. One of the biggest coming up, biggest of since my return. But that's not what I want to talk about. Biker, woo! And CO trains. You got to pass trains to get in and out of South Colton. Last night I posted on Facebook about what was it? Wanting to adventure alone, and how I was getting invitation. Fantasy topless, I guess. I don't know. Fire station. Wanting to adventure alone, and I was getting invitations. Oh yeah. I remember how I want to say this. When I lived in Japan, I would get a lot of email, or some email, from people who said they wanted to come adventuring with me. And I would, to be polite, I would kind of say, oh yeah, whatever, because maybe because it would be very rare that anyone would actually show up. And when they did, I would go adventure with them. But in reality, I don't like to adventure with other people. I'm very selfish in that regard. I like to go alone. Going with my family is another thing altogether. That's not really adventuring in the same sense. That's a family excursion, and that's a different thing. But when as for the stuff I typically do, like on the Softypapa channel, I want to go alone. And the analogy I was getting some. I'll come back to the analogy in a second. The thing was, I got 3 requests or offers, probably a better way to say it, over the weekend. 1 request, 2 offers, I think, for me to either take me out and join people, or asking them to come along. And I realized, oh my gosh, I've got to do something about this, because I'm in the States now, in Los Angeles, and there's a much better chance that people are going to ask that. And when I do that, people have this, they can get hurt, because rejecting companionship isn't the same thing as rejecting other people, but they can easily be misconstrued. And I'm not rejecting people. I'm happy to get together with people for like coffee, beers, or a meal, but in terms of going out adventuring, it's got to be alone. And so let me get on to, so I tried yesterday, and I had to say so to a friend, and I felt very awkward, and I still feel very uncomfortable about the whole thing. And I was trying to think of how to explain to those that may not understand what I'm trying to talk about, because there are people who prefer to go with others. And let me give you an analogy. Okay, my friend Glenn Peck, he struggles with something similar. He's an old friend, and he was out camping and telling me that he's struggling with getting back into the groove of soloing. And I have another video to talk about that. Yeah, that is a struggle to get back into it. You want it, but you don't want it at the same time. But anyway, decades ago, Glenn and I lived in Santa Barbara, where he was our neighbor. Yumiko and I lived right next door, and Glenn and I shared a passion for the outdoors, and particularly for free diving and spearfishing. Free diving is diving without scuba gear, and you leave the scuba gear behind so that you don't scare the fishies. And we lived next door. We'd say, let's go diving, and we'd get our gear together and our spears, and we'd head down to the Mesa, or 1,000 Steps, one of those wonderful beaches in Santa Barbara, and proceed into the water, laughing and talking and joking all the way until we got out into the water. And I'd say, well, see ya. And he'd go his way and I'd go mine, and we'd meet back at the beach in an hour. Or sometimes I'd see his silhouette moving through the water beneath, in the distance, underwater. Or we'd pop our heads up once in a while and compare notes for a second. But for the most part, it was a solo affair. That's because free diving is spearfishing is for the most part a solo affair. You're not going to catch a lot of fish spearfishing together. You do it on your own. You wander through the kelp forest. It's like an underwater forest, searching for a quarry. And in our case, we didn't get a lot of fish, because we were after a different sort of quarry altogether that didn't require getting shot at by shooting anything. I think Glenn knows what I mean in that regard. And that's the same That's the same target that I'm after when I go out solo adventuring now, even though it's on land. There's something out there that can only be ascertained and discovered and captured when you're on your own. I think it was John Muir or somebody who talked about the things that you can hear when you're in the wild. And I've had some glimpses of that. I sometimes call it the howl of the wild, that I can only hear when I'm alone. And I'm after that. Once you hear it, you kind of get addicted and you want it. Okay, I got my gears back in order. So, kind of lost my train of thought. Sounds like it's in 5th gear, but it's clearly in 6th gear. Oh, you know why? Because I'm not wearing headphones. Usually I'm wearing headphones, and today I just kind of threw the helmet on and forgot. See, I knew I'd forget something leaving the house, and the headphones deaden the sound. So anyway, going out in adventures like this is similar to diving under the water like that, and I'm gonna need to be forthright and honest, and I don't know how to do it. I was thinking about changing my name from Softypapa to the Soloist or something like that, but I don't think there's really any way you can do it. I'll just have to be honest and say thank you. Let's get together, have some coffee, a beer, or a sandwich. But when it comes to the weekend, when it comes to the adventure, I gotta go alone and face whatever's out there, discover whatever's out there. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I hope you all have a great day. I don't think I've covered this subject quite the way I wanted to, or the way that I'd hoped, but I think maybe I get the point across. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, this is a lovely intersection. Wow, I love such architecture. See, that's the kind of thing that I could share with another. Sit in the car going, oh, isn't this great? We could talk about the architecture and stuff like that. But there's other stuff you just can't share. Okay, bye. Or maybe you can, but you don't want to. See ya.